Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, Outdoor Oklahoma.
Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead, and today I'm joined by Jeff Pennington, one of our area biologists on Keystone WMA. Now, Jeff, the Wildlife Department for a few years now has been involved in a unique bird banding project that a lot of people really don't know about.
That's right. While we've been banding waterfowl now for decades, we've just been banding these mourning dove for 5 or 6 years. So that's relatively a new thing. While hunters are used to looking for bands on waterfowl, ducks, geese, on the dove, they're not used to looking for them, and they're tiny, tiny small, so they're hard to see. So we're asking hunters to really check for the doves that they harvest, look on the lower end of their legs, and look for that little shiny silver band and call the 1-800 number or get on the internet site and call that band in. They're going to get to keep their band.
Good.
And that gives us information on hunter harvest rates and a little other information on where the birds travel from where they're banded to where they're harvested.
Now, I know on a lot of our wildlife management areas, we actually do manipulate or manage fields specifically for dove, like you've done to this one here at Keystone.
Yeah, we try to, where it's feasible, we try to provide hunter opportunity by providing the specific habitat types that these dove need. These dove need seeds and they need bare ground, and you got to really work a little bit to get that combination.
I know you actually just recently burned this field just a few weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, and a lot of seed on the ground, and that's what they want. They want that bare ground, they want the seed.
Well, it must be working. I've seen a few fly by already. You know, today we're going to be joining Ed Kunis, our shotgun training education coordinator. And you know Ed real well, don't you?
That's right. Ed's a good guy.
You bet. Now, he's going to be passing on a few shotgun tips as well as specific dove hunting tips to a couple boys, Trey and Eric Pribble. So right now we're going to catch up with Ed down in Tipton, Oklahoma.
We have some special guests today that want to practice some dove shooting, a little preseason practice. So we decided, got our heads together and thought, we'll do something that's just a little different. Instead of having an orange target, how about having a gray target that would look more like a dove? That would help the shooter focus more on the target in realism. In other words, when the doves fly into the air, they're going to see a gray target instead of an orange target. So let's get them used to seeing that, and then they can fine-tune their shooting skills to that. Now, to add to that, came up another idea to have actually a piece of white cloth. We just glued it inside this. We fold it up, and when the target comes out of the machine, it actually shows something like a wing beating motion. So it's very realistic. I would encourage anybody that's going to practice hunting, whether it's archery, muzzleloader, rifle hunting, shotgunning, to practice, because that's what makes the difference. All right, Eric and Trent, what we're going to do today is we're going to practice this dove hunt we got coming up this evening, right? And I know you guys are expert shooters. I mean, you've already proven that. You're the national ambassadors for 4-H shooting sports. Very good. But let's practice a little bit on dove because they're a little different. We're going to have a target come in. It's like a dove. We're going to try to simulate what a dove actually does. They actually come into you most of the time. They might come in from this direction, or maybe even cross this way. So what we're going to do, we're going to practice those 3 basic shots. And the straight-on overhead shot is one people really have that's difficult for a lot of people. But you guys can show them how to do that. I refer to that sometimes is by calling it blot and fire. Right. You know, when you barrel blots out your target, you know, it's not that you stop and look, but you actually just see that motion up in the air. The barrel blocks out the target. That instant, that very split second, pull the trigger and keep moving, and he's in your pocket.
I'm Trent Pribble. I'm currently one of the 10 National 4-H Shooting Sports Ambassadors, and I was selected in June, I believe, at the 4-H Shooting Sports Invitational in Rapid City, South Dakota. And so, as an ambassador, our job is just to get a positive image out for all of youth shooting sports and 4-H in particular.
Another organization that has embraced the Wildlife Department's shotgun training education program is the Oklahoma FFA.
Okay, the FFA in Oklahoma has 5 districts within, and we go to each district with our STEP program. We have shooting competitions. The STEP program provides training and gives opportunities to people to learn how to shoot and enjoy the sport of shooting that normally wouldn't otherwise. As far as FFA in Oklahoma, there's 5 districts, and we go to each district. We have competition shoots for the district. The top shooters in those district shoots all gather, like today at the Oklahoma City Gun Club. We're having a state championship. So today we're going to determine the top individual shooter in FFA today, the senior division, junior division, also the senior team and junior team. Well, this is a step in the right direction for young people as far as becoming sportsmen and shooters, you know, whether they hunt or whether they just shoot for sport. This is a tremendous opportunity for them to learn the basics in shooting so they can be good shooters, be consistently good shooters. And not only that, but the safety aspect of handling guns, the ethics in being in competition with guns, and all the safety things related is very important. And this is a great place for them to start.
In the program and ambassadors, but really I've been active promoting 4-H shooting sports across the state ever since I started shooting, and through the 4-H program about 4 years ago. And so it gives me the opportunity to talk to people about what the 4-H program has been able to do for me, the opportunities that it's opened up for me, and just the life lessons and everything that I've learned from the 4-H shooting sports program. If youth are interested in Oklahoma's 4-H shooting sports, contact your local extension agent through your county OSU extension office, and then they'll be able to let you know if there's a 4-H shooting sports program in your county, and if there isn't one in your county, who the closest contact is for 4-H shooting sports.
Well, I'm back at Keystone WMA with Jeff Pennington, and Jeff, you know, this dove banding project that we're involved with is all for nothing if people don't call in and report a band.
That's right. They've either got to call in or use the Breeding Bird Lab website. Let us know about that bird. Let us know that it's been harvested.
Now, when they do that, they get a certificate as well as being able to keep the band. Is that correct?
That's correct. And also, it gives them some information that they would like to have in terms of where this bird was banded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a real common question. You know, did this bird get banded 5 miles from here?
Right.
Or did it get banded in North Dakota?
Right.
You know, they just won't know unless they call that number in. And like I said, they do get to keep the band. That's the other common misconception.
Now, the other thing is that they have the ability to have a sense of pride for having played a part in some real conservation.
That's right. It gives them an active role in giving biological data to us, the Wildlife Department, and to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Sure enough.
So that information then in turn can affect the hunter by helping to establish bag limits and season lengths and that kind of thing.
That's correct. That information long term, the more knowledge we have on a bird, the better we can manage that bird.
That's great. You know, speaking of dove season and dove hunting, there's a couple newcomer species on the scene here in Oklahoma. Talk about that.
Well, we have in the southwest part of the state, primarily along the Red River, the white-winged dove has come into Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And then throughout the state, primarily in our urban areas, the Eurasian collared dove has really exploded in the last 5 years. Both of those birds you can harvest. That's a real common question. Mm-hmm. You can harvest those birds, and they count towards your 15-bird bag.
Well, that's great. You know, that Eurasian collared dove is actually a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
so.
Get a little extra meat there. Yeah.
And maybe a little easier target to hit.
That's right. A little slower.
We're going to catch up with the Pribble twins as they put some of that newfound knowledge that they learned from Ed Kunis into practice. But first, we're going to visit with Mark Howry as he addresses more in detail about the Eurasian collared dove.
Hello, I'm Mark Howery. I'm a natural resources biologist with the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, and I'm out here at Lake Hefner today looking at birds, particularly the Eurasian collared dove. The Eurasian collared dove is a fairly new bird to Oklahoma. It's only been in our state since about 1996, but in that short period of time, it has spread essentially statewide. Now, parks and residential neighborhoods are an ideal place to find the Eurasian collared dove. This is a bird that, for whatever reason, seems to be well adapted to human-made environments. Today they are found statewide, but they're not found in all habitats. We tend to find them around farmsteads, around grain elevators, in small towns, and in the suburbs of larger cities, but we very rarely find them in prairies or heavily wooded areas. So they seem to be mostly an urban bird. There's been a lot of speculation recently about the effect that Eurasian collared doves are going to have on our native mourning dove populations. Unfortunately, at this point, we don't have a definitive answer. It's something that people are still researching. The Eurasian collared dove has spread very rapidly. Its numbers have increased pretty substantially, and yet we don't know enough about collared dove and mourning dove interactions to say anything definitively at this point. One thing that suggests that we won't have a problem is that Eurasian collared doves are primarily found in urban areas, whereas mourning doves are found in both urban and rural parts of Oklahoma. The mourning dove has occupies a wider range of habitats, and so it's likely that much of our mourning dove population is not going to come in contact with Eurasian collared doves, though certainly the urban mourning dove population will. Well, I hope you all get a chance to enjoy some of this beautiful weather and get out and see birds, be it mourning doves, Eurasian collared doves, cardinals, or anything else.
Hello, I'm Greg Petty from Tipton, Oklahoma. We was asked to host a shoot for a dove hunt for Eric and Trent, and two fine young men that's really been involved in 4-H shooting sports and done a lot for it, done a lot for our state in that area. And we just have a little shooting range here called Tillman County Shooting Sports, and we just felt real privileged and honored to be able to host a shoot for them today. And we, my wife and I got involved with 4-H and FFA shooting sports about 4 or 5 years ago when our kids were in school, and we just felt like it was a really good deal, and we had no place to shoot here close, so we put in a little shooting range, just a small range, and we've been real fortunate. We've had our kids here in Tillman County to get to go to the Nationals one year, and had some other kids here in Jackson County that come out and shoot quite often that got to go to the Nationals, so it's been a really good deal for our community and just the surrounding areas.
Well, we had this spot kind of spotted out here whenever we got down here, so we decided we'd split up along this tree line and just kind of watch and see what the birds are doing here as the evening progresses, and we'll just kind of figure out where the birds are flying and if they have any particular pattern to them, and then kind of adjust our positions accordingly. Right here, over your head.
Come my way a little bit from what I saw.
Here he is. Well, there's one. Getting closer. Well, you aren't going to knock them down if you don't have any lead out there. Well, these fields are definitely good for growing sandburrs. They're covered up out here with sandburrs. So anytime you walk anywhere, you're just, when you sit down, you got to pick the back of your pant legs so you aren't sitting on them again. Well, I was looking at the bird that I just shot and went over there and got him. While I was looking around for my bird, my dad just knocked one down and went over there and got him, so that's a good deal. Yeah, we have them in the car, just not here. They're at the cabin. That's a collared dove. First one I've seen this hunt today. They're slightly bigger, and of course the reason they have their name is they have a black collar around their neck, but they're bigger than a mourning dove. Yeah.
Good. The only one.
Well, I think we saw this evening that there hasn't been anything, it hasn't been a cold front up north to push any of the birds down, so we're just looking for resident birds right now. And with all the rain that we've had, they're pretty scattered. They aren't concentrated at ponds or anything in the evenings, and so you just kind of have to look out and see kind of where they're concentrated, and we haven't found any places with just large concentrations of them, so I think that all attributes to the few birds that we saw this evening. Well, I think we all had fun this evening. We definitely, we got a little bit of shooting in, and we were all safe doing it, and really enjoyed, opening day as it wraps up here, so that's it.